You're listening to the Dennis Prager Show. 1-8-PRAGER-776, Doylestown, Pennsylvania. And Dan. Hello, Dan. Thank you for calling.
Hi Dennis. Thanks for having me on.
You bet.
I wanted to address what you said before about how you never got a response for people who say that it's wrong for the state to set out capital punishment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically just that all murder is wrong, no matter who does it.
You're right. All murder is wrong, but not all killing is murder.
I'm sorry?
All murder is wrong, but not all killing is murder.
Well, that's debatable, but
it's not debatable because that's the reason we have two different words. If a man came into your house, let me ask you, a man came into your house, Dan, and for some good reason you had a weapon, and he was in there, and let's say you were with your family or friends, and he started shooting, would you shoot him?
That's self-defense.
All right, so wait a minute. So in other words, you understand. I know it is. Therefore, you recognize that if somebody said, well, you murdered, you would say, no, I killed, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, so we both agree there's a difference between killing and murder.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So why is the state...
Let me make this point. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I'm not a total pacifist, meaning I don't think
No, obviously you're not, because you said you would have killed in self-defense. A pacifist would not.
Exactly. And if the state conducts capital punishment, that is, arbitrarily killing someone. It's not.
Why? It's not. But that's. Wait. Why did you add the word arbitrarily? Why? It's not arbitrary at all. It's specific to a murderer. It's not arbitrary. The state killing arbitrarily is what the Syrian government is doing now.
Okay. Well, basically, I don't think that capital punishment is justice. I think it's revenge.
Maybe so, but that's not your original point. Your original point was that it was murder.
Right. It is because you're.
No, murder is the killing of an innocent.
No, murdering is killing someone without their consent.
Yeah, but what are you talking about? The guy who you would have shot in your house didn't consent to be shot.
There's a fine line there. But
there's no fine line whatsoever. He didn't consent to be shot, so your definition is just wrong.
There's an exception to every rule, but that.
No. What are you talking about? That your definition is wrong.
May I finish the sentence, please?
Of course you may, but you're not acknowledging that the point is not valid.
Well,
I don't want to trap you.
Let me explain myself. Maybe you could get some more clarity.
Oh, maybe.
Okay. I don't. The only time I condone any type of killing is self-defense. Okay, and there has to be exceptions to every rule. You have to defend yourself and your family. But if you're taking someone's life without their consent, and making it a policy, I just don't think that's a moral thing.
So if a murderer consented to be executed, you would feel that it was moral?
That's debatable because that's the...
Well, no, then your definition fails on two grounds, because nobody who's killed is consenting to be killed except in the rarest of instances. Look, I thank you for the call. People, again, it happens. Periodically we raise this issue, and to me it's a very defining issue. There is truly an unbridgeable gulf between those who think all murderers should be kept alive and those who don't. I don't think all murderers should be killed because that has to meet stringent circumstances of proof and also premeditated and a whole host of other issues. In the case of this man, we have to make an announcement in this society that no matter how terrible your emotional pain, you cannot go out and murder innocents. And this has to be a lesson. Because what we're going to have is now an orgy of compassion. Look at what this guy has suffered and so on. I don't think I ever announced this, but my great-grandfather, my mother's mother's father, was murdered, as it happens, by a black man. I never recall anybody in my family thinking it was then appropriate to kill a black. It's preposterous. It's preposterous. No, it would never have entered the mind of somebody. Oh, we're gonna go into the black community. It's a new way of thinking. A new way of thinking. I'm angry, I'll lash out. Black, white, whatever. And I do believe that it's part of the psychological. This is the most extreme example of what happens when you live in a society that substitutes psychology for morality. After all, remember, and the best example is the substitution of the word sick for evil. Oh man, that was sick. That was sick. Think of those. I can't get out of my mind the murder of the doctor's family in Connecticut a few years ago, which was white-on-white crime in that instance. And that these two guys will be allowed to live. Although has Connecticut abolished the capital punishment? They're about to.
But it won't apply, supposedly, to people.
Yeah. You go into a home. A home and you rape the mother and the two daughters, the two of these monsters, then beat them with, I think, bats, and then burn them to death. And but you deserve to live. You deserve to live. You know, they talk to say that it's too expensive to kill them. It's look, it may be a losing battle that I'm fighting. It may be, but at least I have the chance to say it, and you do too. Give people who are against capital punishment these examples. Say, yo, really, you think that it's our obligation to clothe and feed and provide medical care and for that matter, housing to these people after what they did? You don't think they have forfeited their right to live? Do you ever forfeit your right to live? I mean, ask the anti-capital punishment people. Do you ever forfeit your right to live? Is there anything you can do? You spread a virus over a society, and you kill millions of men, women, and children. You still deserve to live? There's no point, right? What a bizarre conscience comes up with that. I don't understand it, frankly. I don't understand it. Man's father is killed by a black, so he goes and kills blacks. It's despicable. You're listening to the Dennis Prager Show.